Well, yeah, if you break my spears, that's going to be a problem. Because not like a cardable offense. These are the only ones I have. 2, 4, 6, 8. If they're not here, fuck them. Oh, thank you. I'm not going to be enough. Yeah. If we have time, we'll do a finals poll. Yep. Okay. A final note that I was reminded of that's an important one. Out of bounds counts against both people as a double.
Testing.
The rationale for that is that I don't want this to turn into sumo. You can observe the variations in body mass.
I think so.
So we're not doing sumo. If you drive somebody out, you get doubled as well. Watch stuff. What was that? Oh no! If you drive them out while fencing, that also counts.
Interesting. So is this too quiet?
Stay in the box.
RJ, tell us the volume.
If somebody just decides to eat themselves out to avoid getting got, we'll penalize.
Okay. I forget myself. RJ is the OnlyFans professional.
And this one's not going to be like hard penalization. The intention of this is so that this doesn't turn into sumo. Don't turn it into sumo, and it still looks uncertain.
I'll probably be good for an hour. RJ, is there a chat?
It's 1 foot. Yeah. Okay. Table ready? Okay.
All right.
Let me do a final summary again. I just threw a lot of crap at you. So, what do you need to actually, as the fencer, what do you need to keep in mind? Safety is number 1. Number 2 is you are communicating with me. Make your actions, your fencing phrases clear so that we can read them. What can the spear do? Pop quiz. It can thrust. Where can it thrust? Correct. Gentle. Don't waffle people. What can this guy do? Where can it cut? Yep. Anything to the face is only to the mesh. What can the butt of the weapon do? Boop, push, boop. I'm only going to count it to the hands. I've been in plenty of hard contact stick fights. You get out of my forearms. I'm not going to drop. Hear a clack. You've been there. I think that's it. Now we're just waiting on table. Let's line weapons up on either side. A belt and a weapon on. Yeah. Guess I'm MC. Judging. Am I head judge? I can head judge. That's true. All right. Oh, okay.
I'm not arguing about it.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I'll take a mea culpa there. My main concern is steel leg harness.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
But yes, mea culpa if it's not in the rules. We had a rule update a week ago, and I'm not. Ready? So, what we're going to call it, who's on blue, who's on gold, and tell me who's by name. And just use first name. 3. It's over. It's extra over. All right.
Welcome to Boar's Tooth 2024.
Greg on blue, Andrew on yellow, on deck.
We're about to be starting the armored fighting section. This is a tournament run by Ian Davis with a brand new rule set. Beautiful rule set.
How would you like
a little bit complicated, as you can see on the screen here. So if you later are curious about what scores and what does not, you can refer back to this beautiful rules overlay that we've got here.
We'll be keeping this between bouts so people can refer
Get this
back.
belt on him. Goes through one.
So this harness event is a little unique in that this is sort of designed to be much more accessible than the average harness fecting event. So we're working with a lot of regular standard longsword kit, and the rule set is designed to allow the fencers to simulate an armored duel without actually having to invest in a full set of harness. Now, there are fencers here who do have a full set of harness on their own, and so it'll be interesting to see how those fencers' experiences will be different. We'll see if we can get anybody in for interviews later on afterwards.
Fencer ready.
That's an if.
Fencer ready.
So this is assuming a set of armor that has a strong breastplate.
Thrust of the hand against blue. How do I need to call that for the
in the
Excel
front?
sheet?
And
Clean hit gold.
Armor protection on the sides
Fencer
of the
ready.
hips. And
Fencer
also
ready.
has chainmail over the upper arms. All right, so we're beginning.
Hold. There was a thrust to the hand on the way in. I think you gave me one and then the next.
Now that
clean
one,
hit
I think
blue.
hits the hand, but as it went in at the end, it almost hit the groin. You got to be careful.
Fencer ready. Fencer ready.
Because
Last
that's
pass.
both off target and also considered unacceptable in our rule set.
Very painful with the spear.
But
going for the dagger, or the sword, rather.
A moment to think.
Hold. Clean hit gold. Cut to the hand.
So you'll remember that our example armor
All right, drop your weapons.
In this tournament does not have protection over the lower arms, and that was what was just hit by gold.
Now the interesting thing there is that Gold Fencer drew the sword a little early and then sort of realized, oh, I've got this out. This is kind of an obstruction. What do I do with it? It's not feasible to really unsheath it. But he was able to think quickly and land a nice cut there to an open target.
What's also especially interesting is because he had the spear in his left hand and he kept that up while he was deploying the sword, he was able to keep himself safe for long enough to deploy the sword. Very interesting.
Exactly. I mean, it's a little bit of
ready?
a preview of a rapier and dagger almost.
Fence ready?
Like
Table ready,
staff
yes.
and
Fence.
sword.
Exactly. Gold Fencer being very aggressive here. You'll have to see it.
Hold. Clean hit blue. Yes. Clean hit blue.
We see clean hit blue. Perhaps it was a hit to the arm.
Fencer ready.
I didn't hear the location.
I think Ian might have been in the way of the angle there. Getting in close to the grappling.
Is trying to deploy the sword.
Hold. Nice. Clean hit blue after a lovely scuffle and the trouble with the draw that somebody just died that way and was like, fuck. Last pass. Fencer ready? Good. Fencer ready. Fence.
Gold going for the sword again, having trouble.
Hold. Nice.
But this time, while
Lovely
the spear was held up to ward,
Clean hit blue.
It's not quite enough, and the spear is able to get in from blue over the top.
Yeah. Gold got in close, trying to get past the point of the spear, but was not able to actually get into that close measure, and remained too vulnerable.
Yeah. So unfortunately, with the two pools of four that we're running, some people are going to fight twice in rapid succession.
He needed to extend his arm just a little bit more. I think
sometimes you kill a dude and then you got to fight the next guy immediately. Rip.
Now, what's sort of interesting
Table ready?
is the targeting, of course, with
Fencer
the
ready?
cuts.
Fencer ready?
And then
Judge
you could
ready?
tell that blue fencer
Fence.
really had to think about where he was, where they were going to throw the cut.
Oh, very nice.
Quite nice thrust, I believe, to the throat or face.
So blue's just holding position
Clean hit,
above
blue.
there, and
There's
then
a thrust that touched low
gold sleeps
and
for
wasn't
just a moment,
counted,
it's
and
over
then
there.
Craig nicely lifted and touched the face. So
So
clean
he's
hit, blue.
calling that the initial
Fencer ready?
thrust
Fencer ready?
landed in the gorget
Fence.
or in the chest protection, but that the renewal
Hold.
came in, and I think
Clean
he
hit,
does the same
blue.
thing again there. The initial thrust is not quite good enough, and he continues.
Fencer
on
ready?
forward.
Fencer ready? Judge ready?
It's true
Last
that armor
pass.
is
Fence.
an art of persistence, is it not?
Exactly.
Yep. So he misses initially and then comes in again.
Clean hit,
Yeah.
blue, right? Clean hit, blue. Brief note. Watch those half
So.
yeah, that one came
Co-anchor,
down behind.
Do
it was almost.
contestants get any additional points
Match.
for landing the same hit 3 times
Drop your weapons.
each time?
I do not recall. We'll see when we.
No.
Wait,
no.
that's 3 in a row?
He should. Though. He should.
They do not, but I believe he should.
He gets,
That's 3 in a row?
style points. You should get style points.
Yeah, very beautiful. It shows
That
that
was 3 in a
that
row.
action is
Same
good.
game.
I'd say.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a minute or 2 minutes.
So Gold Fencer will be in again. So we're going to
Actually,
Gold Fencer.
How are you
have
doing?
a
'Cause
little
we
bit
could, we
of
could also
extra
just jump to
time
the next one.
to rest and
Let's do that.
recuperate.
We're going to swap order. I'm going to go to give me the
let
Isaiah
me change the
pairing,
order.
and
Okay,
then
that
we'll
makes sense.
come back.
And now that we've
to-
seen a couple of these bouts, let me
That's
draw
3 in a
your
row.
attention back to our little visual of the fighter's armor that we're
set up.
um, mirroring here in our tournament. So this fencer has no lower arm
Isaiah on
protection.
blue, Andrew
His
on
hands are
yellow.
uncovered.
We're swapping order just because
the legs
3
are off
fights in
target
a
in this
row
tournament for
sucks.
safety reasons, but then he has good armor over his chest and thighs and chainmail over his upper arms.
And as is noted here in the overlay, what
Yeah,
we're trying to
'cause these-
simulate is 15th, 16th
You're up now.
century
Sorry.
sort of
Yeah, we swapped order.
late end, early
Isaiah on
Italian
blue.
wars in the prior century.
Andrew, yeah, I know.
More of a regular infantryman,
We're gonna get there.
not your aristocrat
be okay.
with full harness, as you can obviously see. Although, of course, somebody might not be wearing everything they have the potential to wear in any different context. Which one of the interesting things about this experiment is that it allows
I
us
didn't
to
note
look
this at the
at
start, but we are
context
developing
other
a
than the
pattern.
judicial
I didn't
duel.
say anything about where either weapon had to be when we
So
said
Matt,
go.
are fencers allowed
I
to
showed the
pay
belt,
additional
that's not a
money or
requirement.
to
Okay,
draw
table ready?
Resources from their lands in
ready?
order to buy better
Fencer ready?
armor for this tournament?
Unfortunately, not
Fence.
this year, but we're looking at it for next year.
All of those donations will be going directly to Boston Armizare, thankfully.
Of course. We are available for hire.
Hold.
Oh, it looks like we've got a rifle.
That was going to be a card, unfortunately.
Almost a throw of the
what
spear.
was I forget? But yellow card is just baseline. Yellow card against blue.
Yeah. So with the spear, we're really looking for a very,
Yep. Yeah.
a very
Did that touch your face at all?
low level of intensity with the
Like
blows.
the back being loose.
So here we have, but we have rubber tips on, and so interacting with the face mesh, that really demands a lower level of intensity.
That how do we do cards?
Matt, have you ever been hit by a thrust from a spear like this in earnest?
I was once hit by the butt of a spear
Yellow card,
on my temple. It caused some problems for my
That's gonna
glasses,
go
certainly.
against, so it's
But as far as I'm aware, I was not concussed.
But that is the worry here.
Yeah.
That is what we're trying to make sure doesn't happen in our tournament.
I think the fellow who smashed me in the side of the head actually was skilled enough to hit my glasses, but pull the actual blow before that extra millimeter would have caved in
that's
my
right.
brain.
Clean hit.
Yikes. And that's why we award the yellow card, is it not?
Yes.
It is. It is.
Correct. There we go. Okay, so just so we know what happened, we are moving on to the second pass. Yellow card is a loss of that pass for the person who receives it. Okay, sound good? Fencer ready. Fencer ready. Judge. Table. Table
so
ready?
that's an actual yellow card in this
Table
tournament. A yellow card is
Fence.
a penalty that stacks throughout the tournament. So Fencer in blue is going to have to make sure that he doesn't do something like that again.
Run out. That's a double.
The ring sizes here are sort of a medium kind of ring, but you've really got to be
ready.
careful because
Fencer ready. Last
a ring
pass.
out,
Fence.
is a loss of points.
But it's a loss of points for both fencers here, actually, in this particular rule set, which is unusual. But it is because we're trying to make it so that
Half strike to the hand. Clean hit
some
blue.
fencers aren't pushing each other out of the ring, causing danger for
All right,
everyone.
who's up?
Exactly.
Give me the second Isaiah pass.
Ian, we're not looking to turn this into a sumo match. On these hardwood floors with all this kit, that could get ugly.
James, you're on deck. Who's my other? Yep, and are on deck. Yep. You're on deck. Craig's up. Yep. Gives you a little break time as we arm Craig up. You're fine. Cards don't make you a bad person. Yep. They are a social control. Your fencing is nice, though. Yeah. Good deal. Table ready. Table ready. Fencer ready. Fencer ready. Fence.
We're readjusting the camera just a little bit to get over Ian's head a little bit more. Ooh, that was close.
Hold. That was a low and slow. He met criteria. That was a cut to the hands, clean hit
All right,
from
so
blue.
that's a call late from the judges.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There was a delay. It was tippy, but we said what we said. So we stick to what we said.
So one is allowed to cut
Table ready?
with the spear, which is
Fence ready?
interesting.
Fence ready? Fence.
Still adjusting the camera here.
Hold!
So pardon that.
Is
Out of
that a
bounds.
ring out, or does it come in already?
I think the ring out happens right after, but we'll see what the judges think.
Yeah.
That's happened
It's good
enough
that we have
times.
this
I'm
instant
gonna
replay.
count that one as cowardice.
But
so,
they do not.
That's a clean hit for
The instant
You're
replay
not
of the
doing
judges,
sumo.
as
You're
always,
backing up a
is
little too
simply
much, so
memory.
watch out for it. Clean hit yellow. Clean gold. Last pass. Fencer ready? Fencer ready? Fence. Hold.
We'll see where the target area on that cut is.
Premature hold. Reset.
I think it was a cut to the upper
well, it
arm,
landed
which is
on arm.
armored, and not scoring
Fencer ready?
area.
Right. In
Fencer
order
ready?
to get a point on that area,
Fence.
you need to place your point and then push like as to get through chainmail armor.
Hold.
Well, that looks clean.
Oh, touched here.
Oh yes.
Clean hit
Gold
gold.
fencer again.
I didn't see it. Clean hit gold.
With a
Clean hit
very
gold.
nice, well-placed renewal.
Yep.
When fencing, when going up against gold with the spear, you can't be satisfied with a single parry because that renewal is going to come. I believe that was the
Where'd our
fourth
belt go?
or
Belt's
fifth
right there. Can you
time
grab that?
that gold fencer has landed a similar thrust.
Yeah.
It's almost like Matt. Good action. He should continue to do it as he continues in the tournament.
He should continue to do it until somebody can stop it.
It has
Thank
to
you,
go
Matt.
below the fold level.
And we see your beautiful boars in the chat. Feel free to pour more boars into the chat if you'd like.
I got it. Pull it down into the front. Doing okay on time. Okay. Nice. Same there. All right. Table ready.
Gold fencer
Fencer
electing
ready?
to start
Fencer ready.
with the sword
Fence.
drawn and the spear. Oh, so is blue fencer.
Oh!
Now that is a spicy development.
Clean hit gold.
Oh my, look at them go. Oh, a clean hit.
Long rapier and dagger. Fencer ready. Fencer ready.
I think the
Fence.
dynamics change a bit in that scenario. Got to be really careful.
Oh!
Right, because it's difficult to give opposition with the spear in this case where it doesn't have
premature hold.
I think it's a much riskier. I think the risk
premature
of a
hold, nothing
is
done.
much
Don't count
higher.
it. Spencer ready?
But look, they look like jousters.
Spencer ready? Second pass.
Exactly.
Fence.
So there's both a downside, like you described, and also an upside, like looking like a jouster.
Exactly. Now, I believe that's a ring out before
Double.
the cut lands.
Yep.
Yeah. The cut comes
There was
into
good
the top.
fencing
That's
happening
not
the whole time. I didn't
that's
see
covered by
cowardice,
the
so
helmet.
just double.
Yep. And remember
Spencer
that
ready?
when
Spencer
Blue
ready?
Fencer runs gold out of the
Fence.
ring, that counts as a double in this case.
So you've got to give your opponent enough space to hang themselves, so to speak.
I'm going to count that thrust up. We feel, well, shoulder turned. That may have actually been out here and would be a gleam. Crap. Nothing done again. Premature hold. Spencer ready? Spencer ready? Fence. Hold.
So repeated strikes, 100 strikes to the
Chop,
head.
chop
Exactly.
to the face.
But that's
Clean
possible
hit
because
blue.
he gets to the inside in between both
That's
weapons
math.
and therefore
Thank you.
has access for quite a while.
Much as in rapier
right,
and dagger,
this is my other
or
pool.
in sword and buckler,
Come here. Who needs
getting
belt?
in between
Who has
the
belt?
weapons is an extremely advantageous position.
All right, each of you gets
What
a
we
belt
see
and it
there
stays
is that
on.
Gold Fencer's simply unable to bring the weapons into parry because it's too tangled up. And as a result, Gold
God,
Fencer
you're gonna
gets
need that.
rather a close shave.
Belt goes on, Zach.
Rather a close shave indeed, Matt. Yeah, that was a very interesting mutation on our initial format, right? The spear alone, very different from this dual weapon style that is still very possible in this format.
I concur. My opinion, and we'll see if this is
Yeah,
borne out,
so we'll come back to
is
that.
that
Give me
it
armor
would be
pool two.
disadvantageous to start with both weapons out if your opponent is only using the spear in both hands.
Right, certainly any match combination gives you no a special
Back
disadvantage.
on blue.
but It does seem like the spear alone
Liz
might
on
be
gold.
good against this this situation where with the
Owen
spear alone
on
you
deck
can,
blue, Dustin
maintain
on
the
deck
center
gold.
with better structure,
You are
and
up.
you can force your opponent to actually have to parry those actions.
I also think that you can beat very effectively with both hands on the spear, and with one hand on the spear, it's more susceptible to a beat, and that's what I would be worried about if I were going with both weapons out against an opponent who didn't have that.
Honestly, I'm worried about that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Table
very
ready.
close. You know, a beat is hard enough.
Yeah.
Knock a sword into our faces.
Yeah. That's true, but that's the sort of
The risk that we're willing to accept.
That's right.
For
That's
the sake of the audience.
for us to comment. Someone must get hurt.
Exactly.
Spencer ready. Judge ready. Fence.
I believe that this is a separate
Hold.
set of fencers. Actually,
Clean strike blue.
I think we've moved to a second pool.
I believe we have. Now,
We're leaving the belts to avoid this. You don't want it. All right.
we have
Spencer
a
ready? Spencer ready.
fashion malfunction there.
Fence.
Hopefully his pants will stay up.
We'll see, but we'll be looking out for it if they don't.
You'll get the replay, don't worry.
Nice.
Looks like Blue's thrust.
Clean strike gold.
Blue's thrust comes in.
Last pass,
on the
ready?
clear ass, and Gold's is able to get in on the renewal of the riposte.
Spencer ready.
It was
Spencer
a little
ready.
hard to see since that
Fence.
angle to his chest is covered by his body from our perspective.
Getting in close there to the
That was-
hand.
It was very close to the mask from gold to blue there.
Sword is out.
Hold.
Oh wow, an
us
incredible
a
defense
second to
by
figure it
gold there
out.
for a long
Clean
time.
strike
know.
blue.
Turning the spear almost into
That
reminds me
moment where
of,
you're like, where do I cut?
Pietromonti's,
I don't know where to cut.
Partisan, where he tells you to plant one in the ground and use that to
You want
defend
a
yourself. and
bigger
the other one
coverage for the
normally is a
breastplate,
spear.
or
Yeah, that's quite a good analogy. I think that's rather like what we just saw
No, you're
here.
good. You're good. I
Can't plant it in the ground here because this is
whatever.
a nice elementary school, I believe, and we cannot destroy their floors. But then again, we don't have the equipment to destroy their floors either.
Fence ready.
True. This is, I
ready?
believe these spears are rattan.
Ready? Fence. Hold. Clean strike, blue to yellow.
Yeah, so we see that rising cut with the tip of the partisan up into the hand of gold from blue. He's going for it again.
Blue to the hands, clean strike again. Or clean strike for blue.
Gold is going to have to be
my judging.
Careful and find a parry for that.
Ready. Fence.
Yeah, and it seems like it's an exploitable weakness. It didn't come up a lot on the last pool, but I think as we see fencers adapting to this style, we're going to keep seeing this more.
That I saw. What'd you
I think gold tried to do a level change there, get lower to ensure that blue wouldn't be able to generate sufficient travel to land that. But conversely, that left the high line more open.
A canny move. But with its disadvantages.
Nothing in terms of a warning beyond
I think we see
if that lands,
no actual
that
action
could be a card.
come in.
Yeah, the ruling of the thrust was that it was passé, that it was not quality.
It was a good clip. I would say you're lucky that there was a void. Yep, just
and
watch
passé in this
that.
case means that it doesn't hit directly on, and therefore a thrust like that might skate off your hand or arm, but not really cause the sort of lasting damage that we're worried about in a fight with sharp weapons. So that goes to the chest plate from golds.
Gold on the edge.
Thrust to the face that I think was controlled in its intent.
All right, so it was that first thrust in
Clean hit
quite
blue.
a bit before. The hold is a little slow, but that was the action that was called.
For my judging.
And I want to compliment Blue's management of distance.
Looked like you touched, but
Blue
you held it
Fencer
back.
stops at the distance where
I thought it was
if you were to step any further, it would probably incentivize gold to take one step back.
I think the intent not to blast was
well, and furthermore, I'm not sure if you saw this dynamic unfolding, Matt, but there also was gold was thinking about whether he might be able to unsheath his sword and come in, but because blue was so far away, he wasn't able to do that, and then he was punished for trying for spending that time thinking, I think.
Yeah. And so the swords are fairly short. They are uniform. Unfortunately, I don't have the length exactly to
Stack on blue, and yellow.
To hand right now. But they are denoted in the rule set as Katzbalgers. They're not that long. It's really sort of
on deck, Dustin blue, Liz yellow.
In close. Or about to crash in close.
Fencer ready. Fencer ready. Table judge. Fence.
And actually, to my eye, it looks like our Katzbalger simulacrums that we're running in this tournament aren't such a far cry from the initial. As long as you
Fence.
take into account a little bit of extra hand protection on the original. All right, so we're going for the thrust in. Getting close.
Clean blue. Strike to the hands.
Very nice.
Last pass. Fencer ready.
Gold Fencer
ready.
Looks like they're trying to cover their face, but the lower hand is open. Is a target. A lot of beats coming in from gold.
Hold.
Yeah.
Clean gold.
Well, the hand is very open in this rule set.
Yeah.
Fencers, no dilly-dallying. Get to your sides.
Multiple beats on the spear, and then along that same line, a cut to the hands.
Yeah, so it makes blue complacent, thinking, "Oh, well, I've covered these other ones fine. It's not really a threat." But then it was a threat.
Exactly. If anything, blue might have held on to the spear tighter, been less likely to be able to avoid the target.
Fencer ready.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It also stiffens you up, doesn't
Fence.
it? Yeah.
I agree.
I found that to be the case with the swords. It's interesting to see that again true with the spear. Back and forth here. Both in their zones.
Hold. Half strike to the hands, clean gold. Fencer ready.
I think it's that descending cut that's seen, but I'm not sure if it lands with the point. Regardless.
Hold.
A nice action.
Clean to the hand. Blue. Yeah.
So both fencers here more conservative with the distance and playing at.
No, I did say yes to
measure.
that. I said watch out on it.
Y'all's got a question.
You got a point.
Generally, in our tournaments, fencers are not allowed to call hits
chop on
against
the first one
themselves,
did it.
nor are they allowed to contest
Fencer ready.
the calls
ready.
of judges. This is for simplicity and also fairness in the system.
It should also be noted that in the finals of some tournaments, there are challenges available, and the challenges will be instant replays based off the footage you're seeing now.
Nothing done. My apologies.
Fencer will have
Fencer
one
ready.
challenge
Fencer
per
ready.
finals pool.
Fence.
Yep. And they also will have to come over here and interrupt our beautiful stream in order to do that, I believe.
Unfortunately, yes.
But these matches are not so important that they might interrupt the stream.
Closing
we're
in for
getting
the
close.
wrestling.
All right, the one sword out.
Blue sword is out. Both swords are out.
Remember that sides have switched right now.
That one's going to count. Couch thrust to the axilla from behind. Clean hit gold. What a pass. What a pass. Gorgeous work, both of you.
Do you regret not signing up for this tournament, Matt, now that you're seeing it unfold? Doesn't it look beautiful to you?
It does look very beautiful. I do have many regrets, and this may well be one of them.
Yeah. So you're thinking maybe you'll train up for this one for the next time that we run such an event?
I very well might.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work.
I hear your promise, and I'm interested to see it come to completion.
But only if you will, Derek.
All right, I'm in.
Fencer ready.
That
Fencer
reminds
ready.
me, we did not introduce ourselves.
Fence.
I am Matthew Huller.
And I'm Derek Wise, and we're both from Boston Armizare, the hosting club, and students for quite a while at that club, both of us.
I believe I started at the tail end of 2018.
Yeah, and I think I started only a year earlier, actually. He's much younger, though.
Not so young anymore.
So we're getting a scrappy little fight here this time.
I know. Both fencers have both weapons out.
And we see a little bit of an evolution here from Gold's, where he's holding the sword along the side of the spear.
Blue.
He can then grasp the spear as normal.
I rather like that, but I think Gold's error was getting too close, getting into Blue's measure for the sword. I think Gold would have been more
Remember to direct those thrusts to the hands.
further out,
Seeing them, but the quality's just not there.
At distance. Gold fencer is
Fencer ready.
a little shorter than Blue
Fencer
fencer,
ready.
so that's a tough situation.
Fence.
Yeah, and it seems like the cut came down on the hands as he was holding the spear and the sword together,
like
maybe
that.
making his hands a little bit
hit
ungainly.
blue.
We see it again, the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I knew you could do it. Last pass. Fencer ready. Fencer ready. Fence.
Gold is the more aggressive, testing the distance, but staying in Gold's own zone.
Ooh, that was close.
Hold. Premature hold.
Hands.
I didn't actually hear it. I saw it and used myself. Nothing done. Fencer
All right,
ready.
So we're calling that
Fencer ready.
cut
Last
to the
pass.
hands, not
Fence.
quality.
Mm-hmm. The way that the armor judging has been trained is rather different than what you might normally expect. as a result of,
Clean hit blue. Right in the armpit.
So that's that push thrust that we were seeking out.
Last
so this
match.
is a thrust that arrives and then is able to be pushed further in, which in the rule set is
that smell.
mimicking pushing through mail.
I want to run a finals pool if I go over by like 2-4 minutes. Good.
We've
Isn't
run
this
a
fucking
couple
fun?
experiments in the past.
Dude, some of the
with,
fencing is
with
like
mail,
really
and
coming
the
together.
result is that simply placing the point is not enough.
Like a
One has
good
to
battlefield,
apply
you can smell the
not
fire.
insignificant amounts of
I love the smell of
weight,
rattan in the afternoon.
to actually break the lengths of that mail.
Though
Table ready?
a lot of people
Fencer
who
ready. Fencer ready.
think
Fence.
of armor think of it as being nearly impenetrable, and mail isn't so bad against the thrust, but
Hand or
it's
forearm.
not invincible either. It's a
That was
small
elbow
link
high.
that can be broken.
Premature hold. My
That's one of the
apologies.
interesting
Fencer ready.
dynamics of armored
Fencer ready.
fencing is
Fence.
that you have to achieve a position where you can land such a touch, but you have to maintain that position while you get through the armor, which adds sort of an extra
Oh!
element of timing.
That one I heard to the
present
hands,
in,
clean hit blue.
Unarmored fencing or blast vector.
Was there any return?
Right, and if
to
we were
hands
watching a armor tournament that assumed heavier armor,
Fencer ready.
then most of
Fencer
the
ready.
fighting would actually be about
Fence.
positioning and rotating the opponent's
Oh!
body. Whereas this,
Clean hit
because
gold.
the arms are so available to be hit,
Last
a
pass.
lot of the
Fencer
strategy
ready.
is coming down to that, I think.
Ready. Fence.
Also, with an open face plate, you can be thrust in the face. Very dangerous. Yeah,
That
see,
was
they're
high.
trying to go for the hands.
Hold.
Unsurprisingly, the
Clean hit
hands
gold.
are almost always an excellent target.
That's match. End of pool. All right.
And of course, as a
Got 10,
reminder,
yeah.
this rule set assumes
We're gonna do a
little
finals
to no effective hand protection. As a reminder, as you can see on the right side of the screen, that's sort of the armor that we're simulating here. And this fellow has nothing on his hands.
Okay.
Oh, to go into an armored combat
first.
with nothing on your hands.
We'll run a quick pool.
But it is
before.
historical, I'm being told.
Okay, we had an
present.
interesting outcome. Listen up. We are
This is why
running
we must
Craig
strive for
and
wealth,
Owen
so
for
that we
first
can
and
have good,
second.
equipment when we
That's
come
gonna be a
into,
duel.
the lists.
One-on-one.
Exactly.
Then, hopefully we have the time. We're going to run
Right, and that's the only
four-person
reason,
pool
right, Matt?
because we had a four-way.
That's the most
we had a
important reason
clear
to
winner
have-
of
to
each
acquire,
pool,
wealth
and
and
then
money.
a tie for second on each pool.
Because with that wealth,
So,
and with
a
that
duel
armor, you can
followed
bring
by a
honor to
pool, and
yourself,
then we're
to
done.
Your family, to your principality, to your city.
Oh, and certainly to your teacher in the art of arms.
Kill this
Exactly.
man.
Right.
The most important.
So I think we're taking a momentary break as we tabulate the
Kill
scores.
this
And I
Owen.
think we're going directly to a finals pool here.
Sorry, that
I
was
hope that we
No,
get
that's okay, I
another
do.
normal pool, but I think he was
Okay.
saying that we're going directly to a finals pool.
mostly for the bit. Kill this person.
I believe so as well.
Okay, all right. All right.
He is lapelled, so they heard it better than we did. You can have the headphones.
Yeah, give me over here.
So I was told by Declan that 15 is where we want to be.
Just keep track of this one by hand. Don't even. Okay. A two-person pool. Don't even worry about it. Just Craig and Owen.
Also, good to have you on the stream, Connor. I see you down there. I believe that Sinestra
It is.
is our
Correct.
Connor Kempkoa, our friend.
So yeah, record it right there.
Well, I would like to thank Mr. Kem Cowell
For all the marbles.
because he was my introduction to streaming at HEMA events.
No way. Tell me a little bit more about that. I'm sure
I,
he'll enjoy hearing about it.
Yeah, at Rev Rumble the year before last, which I believe was the inaugural Rev Rumble. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it this year due to thesis. But yeah, I was asked to do a little bit of commentating, and
Okay.
And
Connor gave me some advice.
and the rest
helped me
is
practice.
Table ready?
history or historical fencing, I suppose.
Fence are
All right,
ready.
I think we're
It's
into
a
the final.
ready.
interpretation of the primary
Fence.
sources. We'll put it like that.
I think we're up again. So this is Craig and Owen.
Hold.
It's that same thrust over.
Clean hit blue. Thrust
So
the axle up.
gold there goes to grab the
Spencer ready.
spirit of blue, but
Spencer ready.
blue is still moving it, still thinking about what he might do, and manages to, I suppose that's
Ready and
essentially
ready?
disengage.
Ready.
Yeah.
And
Fence.
hitting the head at the same tempo.
So gold fencer here is Owen out
Oh!
of Laurel City.
Clean hit
And blue
gold.
fencer is
Strike to the
Craig
hands.
out of Capital KDF. Although prior to that, he did
Last
train at
pass.
Boston
Fence are
number
ready.
10.
Fence are ready.
In fact, he was
For
in
all
my
the
beginner
marbles.
class.
Fence.
And, he's always been a problem.
Oh.
Here he is being a problem again, wouldn't you say? Oh, my.
I think I
That
would
was
say.
a pool queuing thrust to the face. Unfortunately, that's a card. So clean hit gold and card Craig yellow.
So what's interesting there is
Just
that
a little
prior
too much
thrusts
oomph, but
by blue fencer
I think you probably didn't even care. But
were renewals.
we gotta
The
hold
first
the
one had
standard.
been parried.
Um,
but because this one had a
so-
bigger opening, blue fencer came
Listen
a little
up.
too fast, a little too hard.
we're gonna run pool of 4 next to determine third and fourth. But we have.
Are you saying he was
first,
awarded a card?
Owen, second, Craig.
Reasonable. We got to keep this safe.
And so this, I believe,
You're
determined-
totally fine.
Well, I mean, y'all heard Ian announce it. I'm not going to repeat what I said.
I'm sure Owen didn't. All right. That was good. All right, we do have another.
A very experienced armored fencer, Craig. Very experienced with.
We got 7 minutes.
Dagger.
I think we can mostly do it. And I already asked Mike if we go a little bit over.
Dagger
it's okay.
classes, I know. So I was expecting him to actually use the sword more, but he mostly used the spear.
We'll make it through. Yeah. I am really glad that we got the camera set up, and I think we caught several of them.
Number 4, James, Andrew, Dustin, and Liz.
James, Andrew, Dustin, Liz, we're doing a second and third. Third and fourth.
Dustin in blue, gold.
Dustin blue, Liz gold.
If you could hear that, those were the dulcet tones of Mr. Robert Joseph Bacon, our professional stream monkey.
And we caught wonderful. I'm loving this.
Yeah, so that volume.
Have I been spiking
and actually,
our audio volume?
people who are watching, can you tell us whether you feel that the volume of all of the different all the speaking elements is good for you? Can you hear Ian? Can you hear us well?
Really great passes. Nice. Oh, that's hot fire. Yeah. Yeah, we just ran first, second, and now we're doing third. I don't know if we have a fourth place prize, but that's about good. Finals duel is complete. Now we're going for third and fourth.
So
table ready.
If you didn't hear that, which you probably
Spencer ready.
Spencer
ready.
Prior bout was to determine first place. This will be determined third and fourth place.
This is Liz, originally from Boston Armizare, now from the South, versus our own Dustin Kilpatrick, also from Boston Armizare.
But also originally from further south, although Connecticut, which I consider a southern state, but most don't.
Hold.
All right, we.
That's a verbal watch that one, but I don't think it was too forceful. Clean gold.
I believe that is a faded thrust on the inside line, disengaged.
Spencer ready.
Outside.
I'm not sure if you know this, Matt, but she's been training épée recently.
I can tell.
Yeah.
She's not the only one.
Hold.
Yikes.
Straight in the axilla.
Very
hit
nice.
Blue.
From Dustin.
I myself also trained épée. I
point your tip at me,
myself out of Midwestern épée regionals.
So that's a nice thrust that comes down with a find over Gold's spear.
Yeah.
Comes in nicely.
It's all tied up. This will determine the winner.
Or the bronzer, as it were.
The winner of the bronze medal.
Swords are coming out.
Swords are out.
Oh.
Blue fencer's lost the sword.
And he's still one-handed. All right. We're coming back in. It's not over.
Blue survived, having to pick up the sword off the ground.
Hold.
Oh.
Rising cuts to the hand. Clean hit Blue. What a scuffle. One more pass. That was it. All right.
That was a match. So that clean hit from Blue determines the match. It was a nice little cut up with a sword.
I think when Blue dropped his sword, that was a missed opportunity for Gold. But I want to applaud Gold's sportsmanship for not rushing in and letting Blue pick up the sword.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, some folks don't value winning above all else.
I think that we'd like to make sure that the rules enforce that the most, but then second, the fencers can hold true virtue in their hearts.
Thank you for asking, though. Yeah. I hope to
So
someday when we have a different
three-path
floor.
system, sometimes if somebody wins the first two, well, the third isn't as exciting. So it's very nice there to get the
belt
medal
stays
belt
on Andrew.
and have it decided by the last pass, and to have that pass be a real back and forth.
Yeah, we really want to make sure. We really want to find rules and training systems that allow for interaction and studious action and things that are
already table ready,
advocated for in the books
table
that are
ready.
good.
Spencer ready. Spencer ready.
It's nice when we get to see them replicated here in the match.
Exactly. I believe this would be for 5th and 6th place. The sword and belt are
hold.
100
Plain
cuts
hit,
to the
gold,
hand.
cut to the hands.
Oh yeah.
And a bit of a whip with the belt buckle there.
Is that worth extra points, Matt?
It's worth style points.
One style, then awarded to gold.
Yeah. Drop it down below the level of the breastplate up front. Below the level of the breastplate, right there. Yeah, I'm going to hold it in the back, drop it down in the front. Yeah. Tighten it up, right down there.
And Connor, we've heard your comment that the our voices are a little soft. We're gonna get that addressed.
All right, we'll be a little louder. Thank you very much.
Oh, we'll also just turn up the
Table ready.
volume so we can speak normally.
Ready.
But in the meantime,
ready.
Shout like
Fence.
your life depended on it, or the fencer's chances depended on it, maybe.
Exactly. I will do that. As if I were a judge or director.
Hold.
Oh, the ring out.
Ring out.
That's going to be that was a retreat. We're gonna call that.
So in this
clean
case,
hit gold.
because we're no longer in a pool scenario and we're
Last
curious
pass.
about which fencer will
Watch
win this
your
match,
retreating.
getting a double doesn't really do that much.
So this is the last one. Fence
It
ready.
won't really affect the
Fence
outcome
ready.
of the match.
Fence.
And not all ring outs will be treated the same. So here we have the retreat, which is treated a little differently.
Oh, that was close to the head. But a nice parry. Oh.
Hold.
Yeah.
But it was a premature hold. Reset.
It's cut there to the lower arm.
Fencer ready.
To
Fencer
the
ready.
Tricep rather,
Fence.
not to the forearm.
Hold.
All right, so
Took us a
Gold
second
presses
to
his
find the
advantage
open armor. Clean hit
and
gold.
just continues to strike. But because he's got positional advantage, he can take whatever actions he likes.
Exactly. The ability to cut to the face is rather interesting, and it changes the dynamic to what one might expect if this were spear and dagger. You're much more exposed than in that case because the distance of the cat's bulger is much more significant.
Ready? Ready? Oh. Fencer ready. Fencer ready. Fence.
Golden Fencer starting with both weapons out from the get-go. We'll see how Blue handles the distance.
Yeah, he goes for the arm immediately. He tries to find an opportunity to
All right,
to grab
clean
the arm.
hit. Blue. Fencer ready.
Yeah, with the arms on target, it's really quite easy to get hit there if you're not cautious.
True.
And it seems like Gold's arm is currently in a position where it bears the outside of his arm a lot of the time.
I think certainly having the sword out adds more vulnerability. I think that's going to be the cut.
Cut to hand, clean hit.
Beautiful
Gold.
pass.
Yeah.
Oh, clean hit blue.
And a really
Cut to
nice
hand.
management of
Fencer
measure.
ready. Fencer ready. Fence.
Certainly. I mean, that's like I said before. That's the risk with the sword, is that if the measure's not managed, you're at a disadvantage. But Blue was able to keep it at an advantageous distance and land that hit.
So if the measure's not managed, you're at a disadvantage. That's beautiful.
Clean hit
Matt.
blue.
They say I'm a poet. They're lying, but they still say it.
I'm pleased to hear it, honestly. Please don't watch this match as well. All right. So we've got Andrew against Liz now. Liz in golds, Andrew in blue. Both
Table?
at least originally from Boston Armizare.
Spencer?
True.
Spencer?
And
Fence.
both wearing blue fencing kit. Gold here, using the sword as a warhammer.
Hold. Cut to hands. Clean hit blue.
To no advantage, apparently. In that
Points for
pass, at
creativity.
least.
Not actually.
Very cool, though.
Spencer ready. Spencer ready. Fence. Oh.
Oh, yikes.
Bib.
Gold gets in there with a nice
I
thrust
I
to
saw
the
a
face,
clip
it looks
coming in.
like.
Up.
Yeah, and it's in the tempo of Blue stepping
I think it
backwards.
went boom, boom.
His balance is
Went down.
off for a moment, and that's the opportunity that Gold takes
All right.
to hit over the
Scoring that as a
spear.
controlled thrust, I
injudicious
saw
step.
it touch the mesh and then drop down to the bib. I believe that the touch to the mesh and the drop was a product of control, not of a miss. Clean hit, gold. Spencer ready. Ready. Spence.
Going
He's
for the
starting
hands
with both
there.
weapons out.
Hold.
These are hitting
to
all
the
of the
hands.
places sequentially where you can't actually hit in this real set. Very interesting.
It was in service to a cut to the hands. Second verbal warning, you're trying my patience on the cut to the head. All right. That was a clean hit blue. Will that be final? Excellent.
I believe this will be the final bout.
All right, let's
of
burn
armor.
it, people.
No, I heard an on deck as well.
Spencer ready. Spencer ready.
I think there might be
Table
one
and
more.
judge.
Apologies.
Spence.
I am wrong.
We'll see it in just a moment.
Blue fencer again with both weapons out.
Hold.
100 cuts.
Clean hit blue. Cut to the hands. Spencer ready. Spencer ready. Spence. Clean hit blue,
believe-
cut to the hands.
There we have another cut to the hands.
Last pass. Spencer ready. Spencer ready. Spence.
Now Gold starting with both weapons out.
An exciting end. The couched lance, as we saw before.
Oh!
Oh, yeah.
Clean hit gold.
That's good. That's looking good.
All right. Final match. Liz on blue, James in gold. Let's burn it, people. We need to get out of the way.
All right. We think that this is the last match coming up here now. Dustin versus Liz. Oh, no. Not Dustin.
Armor debrief right after this. We'll be in that corner. We need to vacate this. Heard?
Subsequent to armor, we will have our team's tournament. So you have that to look forward to.
Table ready? Spencer ready. Spencer ready.
I am indeed
Spence.
looking forward to it because I will be judging it, Matt. I
I'm
can't
looking
wait.
forward to it since I believe I will still be commentating. But I might be judging. Who knows?
Hold.
I believe that's a thrust to the upper arm.
It was
there.
mesh.
I
Okay.
renewed to
Clean
the
hit
mesh.
blue. Thrust
very
to the
nice.
mesh. Spencer ready.
It did. It came off.
Spencer
the arm
ready.
and went right to the mask.
Studs.
Both fencers starting with the spears.
Hold. Half strike to the hand. Clean hit blue.
So that's a half.
Last
strike,
pass.
half
Spencer
strike,
ready.
Two count on the hand.
Spencer ready. Spence.
And if you're just joining us, the hands are uncovered in this armored rule set due to the armor constraints that we assume here.
Hold.
Oh, a dangerous thrust over
Thrust
the
to the
top.
face. Clean hit gold.
Yep.
Armor to that corner,
And
please,
also,
with
you'll
the
note
weapons.
nice and
Thank you.
controlled, a nice safe action, exactly what we're trying to get out of this tournament.
That's a quick reminder. Over there on the right, you can see the kind of armor we're looking at here, and certainly with no protection at all or very little,
Yep.
a good hit to the hands by a half would be quite a problem.
Craig in second because
Yeah,
he
yikes.
lost that. Oh, in
No,
first.
thank you. All right, so we're going to go into a quick intermission.
Thank you.
I will be replaced by some other worthy as I go to judge. But it was a pleasure to watch Armor with you, Matt.
It was
a
pleasure.
Give prizes now, or is that at a later?
Yeah, you can give prizes now.
That's a great question. Liz is first. What all was slated for Armor?
I don't know. You have to check the Discord.
Don't know. So we're
Yes, we'll be doing that in a few minutes. Perfect. I'll make an announcement.
we are doing a formal awards thing
We could do it at the end
with other
teams too.
Okay.
We'll do it at the end of the night. That way we don't have to rush to figure it out.
Cool. Sounds good. All done. We have vacated. If you're fencing teams, I'm going to keep it brief. First place, Owen. Second place, Craig. Third place, fourth place, Dustin. I'll get full standings for everybody at the end of this because it's fun and excellent fencing from everybody. Passes, weapons. Did kind of change the name here to an armor experiment. Noted there was a lot of control because, and I saw that control from everybody. Really great work. Much appreciated. Thanks. We'll do at the.
And
thank you all.
Now, the next event will be teams. Armor's just concluded.
No waffling.
So the teams format will be longsword, small sword, and sword and dagger.
Can I get a full stand?
Longsword, small sword, and sword and dagger. That can include more than just a rapier. We'll probably see a few sabers, but probably nothing other than a saber and a rapier. So the teams here are going to be 3 people, and people were allowed to form their own teams. We didn't make teams for them. Expect to see a lot of running around as people go from one ring to the other ring, from one team to another team. Be a bit chaotic. That's why I'm happy to be commentating and not running this event. So the way this event works is that the team has 9 hit points divided evenly by the 3 fencers. So each fencer will have 3 HP. Once they've lost the 3 HP, they're out. Once the team has lost everybody, then the team is out, unsurprisingly. There are no restrictions for who has to fence what weapon. So it's possible for everybody to fence each of the 3 weapons at least once. Although usually because of gear or for strategic reasons, we're probably not going to see that. We're probably going to see people mostly use 1 or 2 different weapons until people start getting eliminated, and then expect to see people having to fence all 3, which could be kind of a hassle as you're constantly swapping gloves and kit. And if you don't want that to happen to you, pick a good team, I guess.
All right.
We'd like to thank our generous sponsors. I believe a list of sponsors available on our Facebook page, and of course you can see their graphics scrolling by as I speak, and as we get ready to start running the Teams event. The rules for the Teams event are not that different to the regular rules. The main difference, as it will come up, will be that there is no asymmetrical double. All doubles are treated as symmetrical. That's just to make things run a little quicker, a little smoother. There's going to be a lot of bouts, a lot of people going back and forth, and it's just easier that way. And the event is also a little bit more relaxed. This is not quite the level of energy you'd expect probably in the A tier, right? This is a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxed. Sort of a nice way to ease everybody into a competitive mindset, not dropping you right into the A tier. So this is will be the last event of the evening, as far as I can recall. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we will continue to stream as we continue to run different events. The schedule, if anybody's curious, for tomorrow is that B tier longsword will take place at 9:30. It'll probably end around 2 p.m. And then sword and dagger will take place at 3 p.m., probably end at 6 p.m. Sunday in the morning, we're going to have A tier begin at 10 a.m. and then gender equality longsword at 1 p.m. Small sword will be the final event starting at 3 p.m., ending at 5. And then at 5, we're going to wrap up with 2 hours of just generalized free fencing. And we got there Jake Burns coming in, running. He's got a name and jacket. It's a long time since I've seen one of those things, since that company went out of business. They are not sponsoring Boar's Tooth. Some nice fellows over there. All right, so the stream will be going dark for a few minutes. We will be back shortly with the beginning of the Teams event. And we are back. Just trying to work with the mic a little bit. RJ told me that he had raised the volume on my mic. That's not true. If anything, I think he made it lower. I think he did not put it in the right setting, and now it's quieter than it was before. It's great.
I'm just going to do a quick, okay, mine's looking good, doing a quick commentator test over here.
Exactly.
Okay.
See, I told him, I said, this mic is louder than that one because you raised it. Can you raise it for this one? And then he just turns the knob the wrong way or something. I don't know. But from RJ, well, I don't want to be too mean on this stream. He's not even fenced yet. But when he fences, we'll talk shit, don't we?
That's when we can talk about him.
Exactly.
Fairly.
Exactly. Did you get the Declan mic position? That's fine. So right now we're waiting for the camera to get turned back on. I may have gone a little early in that one. That's my bad. But yeah, so we're gonna have the teams event coming up. The teams event is very interesting because there's a little bit of strategy involved in the roster of the teams in making sure that you put up the person who is, say, particularly good at small sword and small sword, but also in preserving the lives of a person. So it depends how cold-blooded you want to be with your team members. Very well could affect the score.
Well, it gets a little difficult, too, because people need to switch. All team members need to be used consecutively. So you can't just have, if you get longsword a couple of times in a row, you can't just have the same person doing longsword. Everyone needs to take their turn. So
excellent point. Excellent point.
So there is that strategy for sure, but I do think there's the ability to lose that strategy as well, kind of even it out between teams.
Yeah. So we'll be back in a few minutes once everything gets running up. I believe we are officially supposed to start. We're probably behind schedule. It is a HEMA event after all. We are. We're 20 minutes behind schedule. But for a HEMA event, 20 minutes behind schedule, in my experience, is not that bad. We'll be back in just a minute. We got to do some technical futzing around real quick. We're going to be running some tests right here.
Yeah, just testing the mic. All right, now mine looks like it's coming in a little quieter than it was before.
Much quieter than it was before.
Substantially, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we're still running some tests of the mics before the team event begins.
We're continuing to test. I think that mine's still not loud enough. We've got a real technical expert going at it, not RJ, somebody who's better.
We've got Declan here with us. All right, it's looking like my mic's coming back to being better. I think it was okay, cool. That looks good to me. All right.
trick is to get you both roughly the same, and then also better to be quieter because the users can turn up their volume.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So the team's tournament, as a reminder, is going to be long sword, small sword, and sword and dagger. Now, we've seen with the sword and dagger is that is allowing both rapiers and sabers. So there's going to be some interesting dynamics there.
I believe technically small swords are even allowed in the
sword and dagger.
In sword and dagger, from what I understand. I don't think there's any tactical reason to do that, as you cannot cut with them.
I don't remember if that's the case, but if we see one, then we'll know for sure.
We'll have to, yeah.
We should start bouting in just a couple minutes. Things are looking like they're picking up.
Hello, hello. Good? All right. All right. Great. So they already know? All right. Sounds good. Who are my teams? All right, nice. Ring one, please. Ring one, please. Wonderful. All right, you know who's coming up?
It looks like we're going to have longsword in this pool. I mean, there's somebody holding a longsword in it.
Oh,
so that's my guess.
Then get back.
Now, we're not going to have mixed
weapons
here.
My
so
other
it's not going to be
group?
small sword versus long sword.
What weapon are you using?
We don't know which.
All right.
Well, that would be interesting for maybe one or two passes.
Before the small sword breaks.
Before the small sword breaks.
So we're fighting Prosciutto the best boar versus.
And we're just close enough to the ring that our lives would be in mortal peril.
Okay, then
that to
please
happen.
give that to the.
Goodness, yeah, that would be quite the problem, I think.
But for you fine folks, we'll take the risk.
What's the weapon? All right. So this is longsword. All right. Nice. All right. All right, take your places, fencers. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks okay. All right, ready. Fence.
All right, looking like we have Kieran
Oh.
versus Nick in this ring.
Russ arrives.
So right there, blue fencer
Thrust
came
to the
in
hand,
and
point
cut
blue.
the hands
Ready.
and
Fence.
made it through past the cross guard.
Cut to the hand. Hold.
Blue fencer targeting the hands.
Hold.
Yep.
Cut to the hand. Point blue. Third pass. Ready. Fence.
Blue fencer able to get past the cross guard.
Hold.
And once again, looking like blue fencer lands that same hands.
No action. This comes into the strong and doesn't arrive.
Hits the strong there,
Ready.
and then comes off
Fence.
the strong to the top of the hands. That is not quality.
Hold. No action, not enough travel. We'll refight the pass. Ready? Fence.
We're gonna address the focus. I can see that. We'll run and grab our boy.
Hello, land. Sure.
Yeah, apologies about the
All right,
focus.
your angle.
We'll get that fixed for you in a second.
Clean hit from blue. That's match. Oh. But go to table.
So we'll have the camera back up in a second. We're just turning it off and on again, fiddling with it, futzing with it. I say is I actually don't know. What's
Are you in
happening,
my ring?
but
Are
it's
you
being
in
fixed?
ring
Buttons are
one?
being pressed by
All right,
people who know what those buttons do.
Which?
We'll let you know if anything crazy happens. It probably won't. We're in between bouts right now, but you never know.
Carmichael translations on gold. Who's your is your fencer over there? All right. Who's Team Carmichael Translations? Team Carmichael Translations.
Ring one?
Yes. Are you team? No.
Marcialis.
I think you're up next. Okay. Are you Team Carmichael Translations? Okay, great, wonderful. Are you ready, fencer? Ready? Fence.
I think it should be fixed right now.
Halt! What do you think about the quality of
Very aggressive small sword bout there.
green
fencer
strike
running
gold.
all the way into blue.
That's point gold. Get back behind your line, please. Go. Ready. Fence. Halt!
Gold continuing to
Clean strike
push.
gold.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Nice aggressive
Ready.
fencing from Gold.
Fence.
Gold's being kind of explosive there, and just sort of testing the distance and then crashing in.
Halt! Clean strike blue. That's match.
Yep, that is blues right there.
Match
It's
gold.
hard to see because the judge was in the way. But blue
4
attacked
gold.
into what looked like one of Gold's feints
Right.
and landed a nice
Gold
shot
wins.
to, I believe, the lower torso.
All right, who's up next in ring one? And do you know which fencer? You'll have to bring him up. To my
Please
table.
let us know if there's any more problems with the focus, but from our screen, it looks good for now.
Sword and dagger. Will you fence? Are you up in the next round? You go to the table.
So the team names are based on the names of our lovely sponsors, You might be able to hear some if the director is naming them.
How you doing over there, stream?
But from
Hope
where we
everyone's
are,
having a
we
nice
don't know
time
which one is which.
watching this
But
fun pool.
you'll be able to know what lovely companies, organizations, and individuals are sponsoring Board's Tooth by looking at the upper right-hand corners of your screen, where you will see a logo, a lovely logo, for our lovely sponsors. It looks like we're going to have Small Sword in this one.
And as
we
you
have to
can
resolve
see
this
on
at the main
side
desk
of the
then.
fencer's arms, they have their lives indicated by the tape that's present
Can you resolve
there.
this at the desk?
It's the job of the judges to ceremonially
One moment, we have to
brutally
resolve this.
rip off the tape dramatically.
It's
for each
it's
loss.
meaningful, so we have to. Sword and dagger. Sword and dagger.
It will be sword and dagger, not small sword in this ring.
All right.
Now, I did say there would be a lot of running around back and forth for team's event. It's got a wonderful chaotic energy to it. Thank you, Connor.
Ready, fencer?
Yeah.
Are you
Just
ready?
A little bit of chaos as we figure out which weapons are in which rings.
And so we can see
Ready.
here that Gold Fencer
Ready.
is using a saber
Fence.
and Blue as a rapier.
Halt. Clean strike from yellow. Gold. Ready. Fence.
That one was called for gold, I believe, was a cut.
Halt.
Now that's a nice thrust from Blue in between the weapons. Looks like to the bicep or
Yep.
torso.
So, and then
I
after
agree,
blow.
looking like bicep.
Oh, without
I
count.
think Blue got in a little closer than maybe was necessary. Blue was able to land that thrust with significant flex
Oh, that's
with
not-
very little forward footwork.
Anyway.
Had Blue been a little further away,
Advantage
it would've been a
blue.
better cushion, but it still worked out. Blue is a very,
Ready.
very, very fast
Fence.
fencer and is able to land hits like that regularly.
Halt. Clean strike. Gold. That's match. Gold.
Apologies, I didn't hear the halt. There's a lot going on there.
All right, who's up next?
Yeah, Blue once again with that speed.
Yeah.
Did you hear what the final call was?
And you have your
Unfortunately, also was unable to hear the director.
team captain as it in.
It's very nice
Are
to
these,
have,
up?
have Jake
All right.
back. Been out of the area for a while, so it's just it's good to see
Carmichael
him back
translations.
and fencing just as well as he
Okay,
was before
that's
he
good.
left. We're having sword and dagger again.
And I want
This
to
time
just
believe
make sure
both
you can hear me
fencers
when
are
I'm
fencing with
making
rapiers.
calls, right? It's very difficult for me too. I might have to switch sides in order for you. I'm going to do that. Yeah, sorry. I'll tell her that. All right, so you need to make sure that he knows what my call is, as long as you. Is that okay? No, I seems to think it's clear. I just wanted to make sure that you. I wasn't tuning in. Ready. Ready. Fence.
Gold coming in.
Halt. Clean strike gold.
That looks like
Ready.
between the weapons.
Fence.
Prepare to see a lot of strikes between the weapons for sword and dagger.
Halt.
And look at that. As a reminder, those cuts need 90
Think
degrees
that-
of travel. Looks like Chris's did have that
Dagger
90
pair?
degrees.
That's one of the things you have to be
I don't think
careful about.
Clean strike
with the
gold.
sword and dagger is that you're not just going for something.
There is
tippy
no
low,
self-call.
you know. And here, Gold Fencer's a very nice.
Clean strike gold is
low
the
net.
call. Ready. Fence. Halt. What about from blue?
Looks to me like Gold is able to offset with the dagger while landing a nice thrust to the upper torso
I think it lands with
the sword.
I think it does. All right. Double. Match gold.
So we're unable to see what Blue is doing. I believe there's a
Who's
body in
next?
the way.
Ring one. Ring one. Who's next? Yep,
It
and
did look like
bring
both
over to the
fencers
desk.
came in and thrusted at each other. Seems like
Nice.
being called as a double.
I think what happened there was that Gold was able to briefly offset Blue's sword, but Blue was able to disengage, or it just slipped off, and it came in and landed on the torso.
One moment.
So yeah, so these are going to be pretty quick. Ideally, you know, they'll just be the 3 passes.
Rapier and dagger, right?
Right now?
With teams this big, expect expect not too many rematches, but hopefully we get lucky. We'll get to see a couple. They're always fun.
Spencer, are you ready?
So we've got a rapier for Blue and what looks like sort of a rapier or side sword in Gold. Those are made up in arbitrary terms,
All right.
so who actually knows?
Spencer, are you ready? Can I adjust your mask real fast? Just want to make sure. All right.
Now, Gold sword does look kind of shorter, doesn't it?
Ready?
It does. I would
Ready?
absolutely agree.
Fence!
And Gold also looks shorter than Blue, so I think Gold is going to want to be aggressive, a little more aggressive on the distance here.
Halt! Clean strike from Gold to the hand.
That's quite nice. So parries high
Ready.
and brings the sword
Fence.
right back down on the riposte.
Halt! Halt. So I called holds.
That was
I believe
different
that
from
did
our
not
angle.
actually arrive. It didn't have enough travel.
Now, Blue's dagger, I couldn't get a clear sight on.
Early
in fact,
hold, we'll refight the pass.
Yeah, so they're saying
Ready.
it's inconclusive. I think there's
Hold.
a lot of stuff that was close,
Foot.
but no,
Thank you.
Nothing
definitive.
of quality.
Ready.
Yeah.
Fence! Halt! That looks like initial action is unsuccessful.
So interesting. I couldn't quite tell if
Blue's
Gold managed to get through the parry.
And comes back. from that.
We'll see what they say.
Point, Gold.
That's what
Third
they're calling
pass.
it.
Ready. Fence. Hold. Bring out. Yep, that's match.
With that, that'll make 3 passes.
Yep. So Blue has
All right, nice match. Who's up
Run
next?
himself
Ring
out.
1. All right, and you have your stuff
for reasons
up
which
to,
are
go to the table.
entirely incomprehensible to me. Maybe we can get him for an interview later, and we can.
No,
ask.
like he goes to the table.
Absolutely.
Already saw the table.
Oh, no.
I thought you meant.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my table right here.
Okay, my apologies.
All right.
Which side do you want me on?
Ask him. He decides. All right.
So here
Pals.
we have what are those small swords?
Ready, Gold?
They are small
Looking like,
swords.
yeah,
Ready?
small swords.
Okay.
Fence. Hold.
Oh,
Point, Gold.
beautiful.
Ready.
Somebody's, I think, been doing a little bit
Fence.
of maybe epee or something.
Certainly looks
Halt.
like it.
Cuts are non-scoring.
That's not gonna
Hold is
score in
early.
this event.
We'll refight
Unfortunately,
the pass.
a cut
Ready.
from a small
Fence.
sword is not a scoring action.
And I think that was a little too close to land a flick with the point in.
Hold.
I think both.
So
passe.
Fencer is correct that the point
Might be a
lands.
safety hold. We'll see.
But hold is called significant after. All it is good. All right. Point, Gold. Ready.
Gold did get one in.
Fence. Hold.
Oh,
Point, Gold. And that's match. Gold.
I think Gold managed to get a thrust
Maybe
on
that
the
being
inside.
college.
All right, who's
It
next?
hit the jacket and kind of slid off.
does look
Nice.
like that. Kind of
You guys, okay.
iffy from the footage, but I do think, yeah, that point
All right, and
stuck
you
in
bring
the
your stuff to the
jacket
table.
just enough for it to be.
Oh, other.
Tanya's looking quite good on those lunges and those thrusts.
Oh, absolutely.
That was an unexpected deviation to the eye, wasn't it?
So see what weapon we're going to get here next. We've had rapier and dagger, or sword and dagger rather. We've had small sword, but will we have long sword next time? We'll see. It doesn't often come in the sort of 1, 2, 3, especially for the rings, let alone for the teams. And you could be fighting the same weapon a couple times in a row.
Was the very first match in this ring longsword, or am I misremembering that? Have we also had?
We
did have a brief. That's
Never
what
mind.
I thought. Yeah, we've
Never
had
mind.
all three.
We've gotten to
all three.
I've already forgotten.
It was the very first, and it was a pretty quick match, if I
It
remember.
was.
It is funny that the whole
It
world
happened at least 5 minutes ago, and that's outside the scope of my memory.
Far too long ago.
Yeah. So I think I would be remiss, and I think I did. Speaking of forgetting things, I believe we forgot to introduce ourselves.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Matthew Holler. As I was also here for the armor.
Yes.
If you were here for that.
Hey, welcome.
I'm a fencer at Boston Armizare.
I'm Abby Rodriguez. I'm a fencer at both Boston Armizare and Western Swordsmanship
Sword and
Technique
dagger?
and Research.
A club whose acronym spells out WSTR as if it were the city of Worcester in Massachusetts, but it's not.
They know which sign?
The city of Worcester.
Certainly not, and we also couldn't agree on a pronunciation to save our lives. We have a lot of pronunciations for that floating around. Wester, Waster, Worcester.
Yeah, I think it took me 3 or 4 years before I learned that the club was not, in fact, in Worcester, Mass.
Ready.
People always think when I tell
Ready.
them I'm from Wester, they're like, "Oh, okay, cool,
Fence.
Massachusetts native," and that is not the case. All right, another sword and dagger match, it seems.
Although I do believe that Blue Fencer is actually from Worcester, Mass.
Oh, look at that.
I believe is it Massachusetts
Clean it
Historical
blue.
Swordsmanship or Massachusetts Historical
Ready.
Fencing?
Fence.
Yes,
One of
I
those
am.
two. They're nice folks.
Halt.
So rather nice
So,
thrust. I
blue's is
I
short.
believe on the inside, in between the weapons. Blue
Gold's good.
letting the dagger and the sword get a little too far.
Clean it
separated
gold.
there.
Ready. Fence.
Now gold, very interesting footwork. here.
Halt. Clean it gold. That's match. Gold. That's match. Clean it gold. Match gold.
So some very nice work from Gold Fencer. I specifically want to
That
compliment
ain't
Gold
enough cock.
Fencer's footwork.
I don't know enough.
Gold Fencer really took care to advance with small steps when it advantaged them, and was also
very
able to
quick.
land very nice blows. With some
And it
some
will
very
be for the
crisp
entire weekend too.
footwork
That's the
there.
format the entire time. So. No, there was no double cult.
So it's
Unfortunately, I don't have the pleasure of meeting Gold Fencer, but I sure hope that
That's a call, yeah.
Gold Fencer gets to that person gets to fence in this ring a little bit more. I was very happy to see that nice footwork.
Some very gorgeous fencing.
So we're gonna have small sword.
Who's the other team?
Oh, and these
Oh,
are
it's
two
Evo.
very good small sword fencers that we have.
Got it.
I'm excited to see how this goes.
Ready. Ready. Fence.
Quick start.
Halt.
Oh.
Clean it gold. Ready. Fence.
So blues is passe there. I think gold is able to get in.
Halt.
Now I'm not sure if the
So,
flush there actually lands. Rather
Initial
hard to
hit
see. Gold Fencer's
action from
body's-
gold miss. Then riposte from blue.
Gold Fencer, by the way, I believe
just
is a
to
certified
passe and then
technician level 0
finally
or
passe.
something like that. They used to be able to call it master, and then there's some kind of legal battle.
All right. No action. We see the thrust is passe, not fully arriving to the chest.
But Gold
Ready.
Fencer rather.
Fence.
Gold Fencer certainly knows what he's doing. Took a college course on being a fencing master,
Halt. Clean it gold.
and it's showing right there.
Ready.
Beautiful.
Fence.
Beautiful counterattack.
And was that specifically with foil mat, or was it?
Clean it
I believe
blue.
it's sort of an
That's
all-encompassing
match.
Classical fencing.
Interesting.
Match
but I believe
gold.
Foil was certainly the focus. It might have been exclusive to foil. As far as I know, it was
But our
mostly
paper-
foil at a minimum.
That makes sense.
That was nice.
I've
That last
heard
one
that
was
Gold
very
Fencer
quick and
in
under
that
the
match is
mask,
going
and
to
it
be
was at the
working on his
extensive
saber
measure, but I think
certification as well,
it
so-
So
definitely.
it must have been the foil certification.
So I think it was,
Yeah.
but wonderful.
No,
fencing.
blues.
And yet again,
Right,
of course, the epee completely ignored,
Right, gold.
justifiably. It's the people's sword. It's the one that's the most popular, yet constantly denigrated by everybody else.
I'll tell you in just a sec. One moment.
Cool.
You know who your opponents are?
I forgot.
I believe we're going to have longsword now.
3 HP and a
Fencer
dream
here with
bait.
a long sword, so we'll see who Blue Fencer winds up being.
Mm-hmm. I believe Gold Fencer is from Philadelphia.
I'm not actually sure.
Philly area.
Yeah, that's the table.
But that could be wrong. Well, I think this will be a Boston versus Philadelphia bout.
And
Ready.
we do definitely have a Boston
Ready.
Armizare Fencer in blue.
Fence! Halt! Insufficient travel from blue.
Yeah, so blue they're getting
Ready.
maybe
Fence.
20 degrees of travel. And we're looking for like something around 45 for longsword.
Halt!
Yeah.
Now that right there, get used to that from Blue
Would
Fencer.
you use gold
That is
down
Blue
on the
Fencer's
hand?
bread and butter. Call it a swerk. Call it a
The one's on my
Tondo, call it what you will. He throws them a lot.
Clean it
That's
blue.
Blue
Fencer's
best fencer. Very good.
Ready. Fence.
Now we have RJ here trying to hijack the stream, but we'll fight him off.
RJ will not be given mic access again.
Nobody needs to hear his inane drivel.
Halt!
And look at that. You
Clean
see
it
it
blue.
again from blue.
Yep.
Ready? Ready? Fence. Halt!
Oh,
Clean hit blue. That's match blue.
very nice. A very crisp parry coming in there.
Blue has some beautiful, beautiful Zwerg cows. It's wonderful to get to see it on this stream. I'm always amazed by his fencing for sure.
Now, do you think that on that
I think
final
so.
pass that Gold maybe
looked-
got
it
a
looked
little
clear to
too
me.
close to try an opening
we always
cut,
hope that we're right,
Oberhau,
don't
or Fendente, whatever you want to call it?
I would say so. I mean, I would also say I personally do not like getting that close to Blue Fencer in general. I think
true.
that puts him at his best. And we saw that in that match, as I believe all three passes were a Zwerkow that hit Gold Fencer.
So I think now, of course, in the teams format and at an event, of course, we'll be fencing unfamiliar people. But the teams format and, well, most of the formats we have here really only give you 3 passes. That's not a ton of time to experiment. You got to really try and learn from your opponents very quickly.
Certainly. And I mean, with a teams event, it gives people the opportunity to maybe, if they've seen the opponent fence before, everyone can collaborate with their knowledge.
Ready,
I'm
fencer.
super interested to see
Ready.
how other events go. If they're
Fence.
if fencers will know the techniques that other fencers are using
Oh,
in time
oh.
to parry them.
Reset, please. Yep. Nothing done. That'll still go on his arm. And you might also want to fix the one on yours.
Looks
Falling
like
off.
none of the cuts were quality there, yeah.
All right. Ready. Fence.
I thought it sounded like there was some sort of equipment malfunction, but it does not appear to have been the case.
Think perhaps a premature hold?
That could be. That's probably what it was.
Halt.
Oh.
Clean hit gold.
So the riposte comes in.
Wait. You need it.
Trying to ditch the forearm protection. In longsword, that's definitely
It's a
necessary.
fight without the arm protection.
As uncomfortable as those can be.
And you're going to have to start behind the line when we go. Yeah, no problem.
So for those unfamiliar with
Ready.
the ring,
Ready.
what we call the end zones,
Fence.
those are basically the zones in which you start. And that's really all the starting line is there for.
Halt.
Another fencer comfortable
That
with
is
their
clean.
Zwerkow
Hold.
taking over
How
this
do you
ring.
feel about the...
Now I think Blue Fencer is going to have to be careful on this next pass to not generate that same strike.
Yeah.
Or to have a different parry to respond to it with.
They are
clean hit
have
gold.
to not get into that situation again, or
we also want to
anticipate
express that,
very
well,
loud
that
coming
wasn't
from
too much
Gold Fencer,
intensity.
because Gold
Any
Fencer
further
looks
than
like
that
they
is.
want to throw it.
Understood? All right. Ready. Fence. Gold.
And there it is again.
Clean hit gold. That's match gold.
Now, I find with those sort of hanging parries, it's better to try and come under rather than to come over. It looked like Blue was trying to get the
He did
sword in
moderate
the
the
right
intensity.
spot, but by going
Good to
over,
see.
ended up with Gold's sword under Blue's sword, and that allowed Blue to continue through and land that sword to the flank. That's certainly one of those parries that, if you're fencing the kind of person who's got a lot of, who's got that blow, you got to get that good. Now, I want to apologize for what you're seeing on screen right now.
Guys, I think I'd like this
This
stuff off to the
vulgar
side if
image
that's
has
okay. I
come
think
up.
people are going to want to use them.
I think it should be gone
Thank you.
right now. I'm sorry that you had to see that. That's the wonderful R.J. Bacon right there, the Baconator. Usually we like to keep his face off stream, but
Now we're
couldn't be
running
helped
like a
this time.
smoothly
Safety
oiled
and
machine.
insurance issue, I think.
I mean, it's a ratings issue. It's fundamentally it's an FCC issue.
I hope you can hear that, Chad.
If we got all of him, we would be pulled down for obscene content. No, we're not talking about you. Don't worry about it. Well known fact: Hema streams are still regulated by
Aren't we
the
all
Hays Code.
small children in the
and
art?
RJ's face is considered too vulgar and obscene to be
That's
displayed
right.
to a discerning mind.
Yeah,
Only
the joy bursts
prurient
forth,
interest
doesn't it?
could at all be concerned with it. And that's not who we'd like to cater to here at Boston Armizare.
Who's your okay?
24. More to the left, dog. It was perfect before, but he had to come in and start fiddling with it. More to the left. Just a touch. Perfect.
Perfect.
Just how it was before you touched it.
Our boy.
Okay.
A little bit of screen adjustment here.
Yeah,
Not
maybe.
sure how necessary it was, but we've got a nice, beautiful angle now.
Yeah. Well, look, RJ, he wants to feel like useful, like he's doing something. He's created a problem where there was none before. But we're going to humor him. Good job, RJ. Good job.
RJ has legitimately done a ton for getting the stream set up. I want to give him a legitimate thank you
Of course,
for being
of course.
a big part of the reason
We'll
we're
give
able
him
to do
so
this
many
right
thank
now.
yous. He's walking away now. You don't have to compliment him anymore. We're good.
All right, looks like we have the fencers for our ring.
Now, this is looking like it's going to be another longsword bout. Blue Fencer, well, looks familiar to me, but unfortunately I don't recall who this person is under the mask.
Ready.
Yeah, I am unfortunately
Ready.
devastatingly bad at recognizing fencers in gear.
Fence. Hold.
Low cut from Blue.
So that
I
lower
think
leg off
a
target.
Gold Fencer went for a thrust. It's hard to see if it
So
landed.
only point.
There could be there was some audible contact to a glove.
Doesn't
We'll
matter.
see if it was.
That was an off-target
We'll see
hit,
if
that
that contact decided to be quality.
I don't. If there's a valid hit.
Now, Blue got very low in that one.
And can you guys give me a little more space on the side?
Level-
Yes. Okay.
le-
All right.
Did it look like that cut had
Below
40 degrees
the
of travel
knee is off
requisite
target.
to being quality?
Clean hit gold.
to you?
I think they're saying that it
Ready.
did,
Fence.
but because it hit the side of the knee, that's not a legal target.
Oh, that makes sense.
I mean, it's not a legal target regardless of the travel, but
Hold.
I believe they're going to call that.
So,
low
do you
here.
feel that blue?
So
Rising
Gold
cut
tried to
comes up
come
into
in with the
hands?
point, and Blue went with sort of beat parry.
I think it hits
from
the cross guard after it hits
what Fiora would call
angle.
a boar's
So,
tooth.
yellow's hands are
hit a
ended like
chingato.
so.
Roll credit.
Maybe,
So it would have to hit the cross guard after the hand.
We appreciate that. It could also be an iron gate. It's hard to tell from the pictures. But you have to be
Clean hit
rather
blue.
careful.
Golds does not arrive.
There.
Did you think that blue hit the floor? I think that was
Now,
not really.
hold on. We should be back. There's a brief.
It was
brief
not
Wi-Fi
excessive,
thing, but we're
and
back.
it
Okay.
barely touched. Bring it
Yeah, I
back
think
up.
it was a nice back and forth
All right.
there, but Gold was unable to renew the thrust.
Clean hit blue, match
Blue
blue.
was able to offset it, and that's going to be match Blue. I think Gold was being a little too conservative, giving an initial blow, but not advancing and not following up. And I think that cost Gold some points there.
Not me. Happy to, but not me.
Thanks again, Connor.
I was close, though. Extremely bored. Not right, chat.
So it looks like we're having, yes, I think it's going to be rapier and dagger. Well, sword and dagger, but both fencers here do have rapiers, so I'll call it that. Now, what I'm curious to see here is how many cuts we're actually going to see.